Today I am taking this 6x8 paper pad and using it to make a mini album. Would you like to follow along with me? Well, let's get started. So in the past couple of weeks, I've been taking 6x8 mini albums. It is part of the Paperstashsmash collab. Right now I'm just taking the paper out, just trying to get a look at what we have. Looking at some of the things. Now, as much as I adore this, I don't know if I could actually use it. Will it work on the cover? I mean, maybe. I don't know. We'll think about it. Love the colors. It's such a springy feel. Gardening and flowers and butterflies and chickens. Chickens. I love all the gardening motif. Now, I happen to have a sticker sheet, but if I didn't have a sticker sheet, I'd fussy cut these to add to the album. Love the flowers. They're so pretty. And so here's one sheet of 3x4 cut aparts, which I know I will use. Let's see what's on the back of that. Generic, that's fine. And here's another sheet of 3x4 cut aparts. And when I look at the cut aparts, I also look to see if I can use one of those for a cover. Like, it's a good day. Would that be good for a cover? Now, this one I would not be able to use because my mini album is going to be 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, so that verbiage will get lost. These flowers are great, but there is an orientation to it. But on the back is this gorgeous plaid. Now, just because there's an orientation to it doesn't mean that it's necessarily not going to work for me. Now, this is gorgeous. Because we could use it in this orientation and cover most of it, and you'll just see some of the colors behind it. Where was the other one of that? Don't know. Good times and great friends. Chickens again. The gardening motif. Those pretty pink flowers with some rating on the back. It says, "It's a lovely day." And just chicken in. And it's a good day. And there is that. So now that I've got that, all right, so here's the butterflies. And here is that. All right, now that I've got that, now I'm going to figure out what I want to have for a front cover. I mean, I really would like to have that. That would be cute, wouldn't it? All right, let's say that we were going to use that for a front cover. We would lose that sunshine, but maybe I can cut it out, or maybe it's in the sticker sheet. Is the sunshine in the sticker sheet? Yeah, we've got the sun sticker sheet, so I could add that onto the top. I mean, I really do like that. That would be fun. Let's do it. I'll make it work somehow. All right, so here's the front cover. And for the inside front cover, let's do the butterflies because there might not be too much opportunity to use the butterflies. All right, front cover, front inside cover, and the back cover, I just want something generic. I don't want to use that because I'll probably be able to use it. You know what? Oh, I like this. Back cover. I want to use something that's got an orientation because I wouldn't be able to use it anywhere else. So this will be the back outside cover and the back inside cover. All right, so I have my covers figured out. Now I want 7 sheets that would be the landscape orientation for the pages. So here's 1. There's 2. So what I'm looking really for is something without an orientation. There's 3. I can use that. I can't use the chickens, but I could use the back. So that's 4. That really has an orientation, so I can't use that. And we'll use the back of that. That's 5. 6. And you know what? I think I'll use this one. I will have it sideways. So that's 7. All right, so I have 7. Let me move these aside and get a little more organized. And I'm going to get out some labels. So let me stop the process for a second and tell you, I do have in my coffee shop a printable with the instructions. The instructions also include these labels. So we're dividing the papers up, and so there's labels to help you when it comes to the dividing. So there is one. So we need cover, 4 pages for the cover. I need 7 for the pages. Now I'm going to pull out the cut aparts. All right, so here's for the cut aparts. And I'm also going to pull out, where's that one page with all of the garden implements? You know what, could I use this and layer it? I might put this with the cover. I might take it out, but I might keep it in. Well, here it is. You know what, I'm going to use these as cut aparts as well, because I can fussy cut these. Let's pretend I didn't have the sticker sheet. All right, so now I can't use that, so I have to look at this side. So now I'm looking at things I can use for tags. So for the tags, I'm going to need at least, there's 7 pages, so I'll need 7 tags. The tags are going to be 3 inches, so I will need at least 4 pages, but I can use 3.5 so I can cut something apart. So I'll use this one because that I can use that orientation. And yeah, I don't know. I don't want to use the chickens because I want to use them on a page. Now it's tough because there's, all right, this one I can use, so there's 1. This one I can use, so there's 2. All right, I'll use this. I didn't want to use this because I already have it somewhere else, but that's 3. And I'll use this one, even though it's going to have to be this way. I mean, I really actually could cut it this way. So there are my tags. Now, I know if you haven't seen this, you don't know really what I'm doing, but just watch through the end and then you'll see. All right, a cut apart. So here's my cut apart pile. So now I have 5 pages left that I'm going to use for die cutting. So I will grab my die cutting machine. I'm not going to do it on the camera because it'll be boring. Actually, I can use this one because that orange is the right orange. But what I could do is I've got a die that is, this will make a nice photo mat. If you have a small camera, you can put a little photo on here. But it's a square scalloped die, and that'll make a good photo mat. So I'm going to use that and go through here and cut a couple of different things out. Here's another one, and actually I can use this one too. I just cut some things in my stash. But this is a fishtail banner, a stitched fishtail banner that was in my stash of dies. And so I can use something like that as well. I also will use some, I'll take some cardstock, some white cardstock, and cut that out. And my favorite for doing this project is this little frame die, because I could actually take something like the size of a cut apart and put a frame around it. And it makes a nice little presentation, a nice little something something, or you could use it to make a photo mat and put a photo inside it or on top of it. So I'm going to go ahead and dye. I'm going to put these aside and do that. While I've got you on camera, while I've got the camera rolling, I'm going to make the covers. So we'll put this aside. We'll take the covers. I'm going to put this aside. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. If I end up not using it, I can use it as photo mats. I'll put my pages aside. We'll work on those two and the tags. All right, so the cover. Okay, so this is the cover. And this is the back cover. I'm going to take my double-sided permanent adhesive and I'm going to cover the whole thing. So this is a roll of 6-inch double-sided permanent adhesive. It's about 24, 25. Sometimes it's on sale, sometimes it's not, but it's less than $30 usually. If it's more than that, I don't buy it. And what I like about it is it helps me cover my mini albums. Now, usually I just cover my chipboard with this, but I found a different way of doing it. And I'm just trying it out. I don't know if I will continue doing it this way, but it's been working for me for these little projects. I don't know when I get to a big one if I'll continue using it, but I'll show you what I mean. All right, so there's the double-sided adhesive on the back of both of those. I'm going to burnish this. I'm using my number 2 Dress Your Craft bone folder. It's a non-stick bone folder. I like it because it's got this that I can burnish, and then this when I'm trying to get into grooves and burnish. I love it, love it, love it. I am going to grab 2 pieces. We'll start with one of chipboard. Now this chipboard is, you can use either medium or heavy weight. You could use a lightweight chipboard. I've decided that you could use a lightweight chipboard for these little mini albums, but I'm using medium weight right now. Peeling off the backing, obviously. 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. I am going to put this on in the center. I'll burnish it in a little bit, but I'm going to first take my scissors and I'm going to cut it 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the chipboard. Oops, that one didn't cut that straight. There we go. Now, of course, these will stick because we've got that double-sided permanent adhesive. All right, now I'm going to take my handy dandy bone folder and I'm going to take one of the long sides and burnish this so it's standing straight up. So it's right against the edge of the chipboard. Now I'll pull it over with my fingers, burnish it at the edge of the chipboard, and then burnish it so it's nice and tight. So the good thing about this is you don't need any extra adhesive. It makes it really quick and easy. All right, now I will take the corner of my bone folder, the edge of it, and there is a little triangle of this paper on the top. Then I'm going to push down and in and up and in, and I'll do that for all 4 corners. Now, if you don't do that when you're done, just burnish the heck out of the corners. All right, I'll burnish again, fold it over, and burnish and fold it over. Now, I do make a lot of mini albums, so buying that roll of adhesive is economical for me. If you don't make that many, I'm going to burnish the edge of this. Then you can get the sheets of the double-sided permanent adhesive. And there we go, voila, a beautiful cover. I like it. I like it. Now to finish this, I am going to take, I think I'll take this one. And I'm going to cut this down. So this is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 1/8 and 6 1/8. Now my cutter doesn't go all that way, so I mean I do have a big cutter, but a trimmer, paper trimmer. I call it a cutter. I do have a bigger paper trimmer, but I can't show you what I'm doing because it's too big. So I'll cut that. Okay, so this is 4 1/8 by 6 1/8, and we will use these somewhere down the road, so don't throw those out. And I will, making sure the orientation is correct, I will put this, glue this on. I'm just using regular glue. The glue I'm using is from the Art Glitter Company. It's the Designer Dries Clear Glue. I like it. Other people like other liquid adhesive, so you use what you have and what you like. It's all about using what you have. All right, and then we'll burnish this down. Now, there are a couple of different ways of binding these albums. I am not using a hinge system, so I don't need a spine. But if you wanted to, you could do it. Maybe you could do the pages like a traveler's notebook. I don't know. But since I'm not doing it that way, I am just making the covers. Where's my other piece? So this is working for me. So the ways of binding it, sorry. You can use a cinch. You can use planner discs, you know, these things. If you have the little thing that chomps to make the disc. Or you could use those metal rings like these, that these will open. You just make a hole punch in the pages and use that. You can get these from scrapbook stores in different colors. I forget who the vendor is that does that. Maybe 49 and Market, maybe American Crafts. I don't know, but somebody makes them in fun colors. Or you can get just the plain silver ones. Okay, now where am I going to put this? All right, well, I just don't want that sunny skies ahead, so I'll make sure it is more towards the top of the page than the bottom. First part about this, I always say, is separating the adhesive from the cover. I saw I didn't burnish it that well, so I'm going to burnish it a little bit. There we go. It's sticky, folks. It is sticky, which is good. That's what we want. All right, so I want it, make sure this is the bottom, yes. I want it closer to the top than the bottom. That is perfect. All right, and then we'll do the same thing, cut the corners. Now, the way I'm going to bind this is I'm using my cinch machine. And I guess there's other brands besides cinch. I forget what they are. But it's, you know, the coils. These things. But I have a cinch, so I am going to use it. I notice this is not on perfectly straight. I try to use the lines to help me. But that's okay. It's close enough. You know what? It's paper crafting. I've learned there are other things in life to worry about. Paper crafting is not it. Not to say I don't cry sometimes when I screw something up. All right, we'll burnish this down. Burnish this down. I like this. I like this method of binding a book. What do you guys think? Oh, that is cute. So here we have the sun. it's showing a little bit, but I can just take the sticker and put it on the top of it like that, and, you know, cut it off, even though the sunshine won't be over the house. I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get to it. There is that one paper that's got the sunbeams on it too, so I might be able to use that. So, should I use the? I should use that. If I don't use that, I could use this, which is really adorable, but I can use this pink somewhere else. And the sad thing is when I cut this, oh well, that's right. I'm just going to use that because I like the butterflies. I want to make sure I use them somewhere in the book. All right, so 4 1/8, 6 1/8, and there we go. I think that's beautiful. All right, I'm going to put this aside. I'm not going to decorate this until I have the book together. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the pages. So again, I have 7 pages, and you don't need a scoreboard, but I am going to use one. You can do it with or without. I'm going to grab my scoring tool. And what we're going to do is we are going to put the 8-inch side at the top of the scoreboard, and we're going to score it at 4. Our pages are going to be 4 by 6. So can you put a 4 by 6 photo on there? Well, not without trimming it down. But this is not meant to be a full-size photo book. I mean, I guess you could put 4 by 6 photos on the pages and just decorate some of the other pages. So I would, if you wanted to do that, as soon as you get the pages done, go ahead and put your photos on and then just save some pages to decorate. And then you might even want more pages, you know, maybe do 8 or 9 pages and do less pages for the die cutting. Whoops, that was off a little bit. Does that make sense? Let me know if that didn't make sense and I'll try to explain it. Okay, and now I'm just going to take my pages and fold them in half and burnish. See how simple that can be? And then I also want to figure out the order of my pages. Oops, that one didn't look straight. All right, so we have my inside front cover is the butterflies. So what matches with the butterflies? I mean, they all match. What do I want to? I sort of like the plaid to go against that. So that's page 1. So what do I want to go with this plaid? Do we want this? There's not that much green in there. How about orange? Yes. Well, do you want two plaids right next to each other? How about that? And now we have this. So do I want that next to it? Or this? Let's do that. And then next to that, could go either direction. This has that in it, but I'm going to go with that. All right, so now I have pink. Let's do the orange. All right. So now there's no orange in here. I mean, this would work and you can use a cut apart or something that's got orange in it, but I'm going to put this. Now again, this is not the correct orientation. So when it comes to decorating it, I will use something like a larger cut apart to cover most of the page so you don't see the orientation. Does that make sense? All right, there goes that. And then we have green, and the green flowers. It's not perfect next to this, but it's how it is. All right. So now that I have my pages, I am going to bind this with my cinch. I've got other videos showing you how I do it. I'm not going to do it in this video because it's tough to do with the camera that I have. But there is a whole playlist of these 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 mini albums. And in the original tutorial, I have binding. So if you're curious about that, go look at that mini album. I am going to go do it and we'll bring it back and it's going to be perfectly bound. All right, let me show you what we have. That is adorable, isn't it? I mean, it's just pretty. So there's the house cover. There's the butterflies and the plaid and the polka dot. Now, I took some of the cut aparts. I took 3 of them and actually cut them apart and put holes in it and put it on here. So in this one, the back of the cut apart is facing the page that it matches. Here's the front of the cut apart. So I just thought that was pretty and it looks good against this background. Now, if I put a photo mat here like that, then it pops a little more. And if I were to actually take this color and put that here, do I have any of that paper left? I don't know, let's say we did something like this. Although I won. That looks good too. So anyhow, so like this, the color matches, and then we've got that pretty pink and yellow, which matches back here. So that's how I chose the placement of those. So anyhow, I put the rest of these in, and here is Days Like These, which I like how that looks together. Now, the other thing that I forgot to tell you to do is we need to glue the bottom. So I'm going to just add a bead of glue. Now, before I do that, I also, if you want, you can take this opportunity to punch a hole at the top. Now you saw my measurement, my method of measuring was just to guesstimate. So I'm going to take that and put it in, and there we go. So I'll do that with all the pages. Now, incidentally, you could punch the front and the back because we're going to have tags in here. And I mean, you can punch in the back too if you wanted to, but I just like the idea of having the front of it punched so you see it's a tag and pull it out. And also the tag will have the hole reinforcer and it'll go right in the spot. It just makes a real pretty, it just looks pretty. All right, one more. And that's it for that. Now I will glue the bottom. So I'm just running a little bead of glue along the bottom, and then I'll just finger burnish it. Now, I don't have to worry about the side because I've got the coils on the side, and I'm not going to put anything smaller than the tag in here. So I know they're not going to come out. It would make sense if I had done this before I put it in the book. But you know what? That's crafting. Sometimes you think back and you say, oh, I should have done this. Oh, it's not too late. I'll do this. So anyhow, I'll just glue it. One little bead of glue. I'm trying to get it so you can see. Open this up a little bit. You know, it's never as easy as you think it's going to be. Just a bead of glue along the bottom. And there we go. Okay. Now, that's pretty much it. We'll do the tags next, and then I'm going to decorate, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to show you how I've decorated it. I'm not going to do the decorating in front of you. I do have a video of me decorating it step by step. So if you want to follow along with that with whatever paper pad you want, You can use the same things. I mean, obviously the cut aparts and the stickers or whatever you have would be different, but you could do that. Let me get things together and I'll show you how to make the tags. Okay, so the tags are going to go in each of the pages. It gives you extra room to put photos, and we're making the tags out of some white cardstock, so you can add photos to the back, or you can use that for journaling if you want, or just leave them blank and they're just pretty. So we have 7 pieces that are 3 1/8 by 6 1/8. To go along with that, I have 7 pieces of our pattern paper I cut down to 3 by 6. Now, you can make tags however you want. You might have a punch, you might just want to make rectangular tags, maybe around the corners, however you want to do it. I have this handy dandy tool. This came from Jen Palmer from Scrapping Under the Influence. I bought it a little bit ago. Incidentally, I took black paint and put it in here because otherwise it was hard to see. So it's a tag maker. There is one that is 3, it says by 4 1/2. I'm not going to make it by 4 1/2. I'm going to make it by 3. So I'm going to line up the sides with that 3-inch thing and line up the top. So it is right in that 3-inch guide. I'm taking a pencil. I take a mechanical pencil that the lead is a little bit further down because this is not 1/8 of an inch, maybe 3/16. And if you didn't have a pencil with long lead or really skinny point, you wouldn't be able to use it. I guess you could take a knife and just cut it, but I'm not going to. I'm just taking my pencil. I mean, even if you took a knife to cut it, you wouldn't be able to get that circle. Okay, so there we go with our tag. Now I've made the little circle so it's centered because, otherwise it's not going to be centered when I do it. I'm just not that straight when it comes to cutting. And I'll just cut along the line, or actually a little bit on this side of the line, just so I don't have to erase the pencil line because I'm lazy. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you all my secrets. So there, we have a perfect tag. All right, so now how do I make this? Do I do the same thing? You could, but I find it's just easy to glue this on and then cut it. Isn't that pretty? I mean, I guess I could have used that part of it and covered the top, but anyhow, too late. Put that on there, center it, and then all I have to do is take my scissors and cut there. It is not perfectly straight, but nobody is going to notice. And take my hole punch, and then, okay, this is from a different pad. It's something different, but I could take a flower. You can't really see that. I don't want to do that one. Okay, let's say we're doing this. You could take a flower and then glue it on and punch a hole through it again, or just use regular hole reinforcers, which is what I'm going to do here. I know I had some yellow ones. There we are. These I picked up, I think, either it was at American Crafts, the Vault Sale, or Office Supply, one of those. So there we go. And then I'm going to grab some seam binding. And I'm just going to take weight for this one and glue it on top, tie it. So you could either just tie it with the seam binding, or you could staple it, or you could just leave it untied and take maybe some baker's twine and tie a knot on it there, or another seam binding and tie a knot, whatever you want to do. But anyhow, make your 7 tags like that, and these will go nicely inside the pocket. Now later on, let's see where this will go that's pretty. I wanted to have it here. Look at how nice that is. You see the little hole reinforcer right there in the center. Ah, it's just pretty. Yeah, so we'll put all of these in the book and decorate it, and then I'll show you what I end up with. All right, so let me show you the finished mini album. So this is what I did with the cover. I did keep it somewhat simple, but took advantage of that cute little house. Inside front cover. And then don't forget we've got the tags on each of the pages. And once I finished with all of the decorating, I went back and took some of the scraps of paper and added things to the back. I didn't need to do that, but I thought it would be cute. I also took some of my cardstock out of my scrap pile and added that if I needed to. So here we go. I like having these two photo mats there and this small little cut apart. I love the frames. That gives you a good solid spot to add photos. And even if your photos are small, say you have a 2 by 2 square photo, you can put it on in there. It sort of gives it that Polaroid-y look. The colors just are fun and springy. Love the orange and pink. You know, normally it's not my favorite color combination. This I did a little something different too. I have an opening to the right. You still could put a photo on there. It would be perfectly fine. Love how the photo mat or the tag coordinates up at the top there. And then we go into that dark blue. This will open like that. It just looks pretty with the orange. And then the next page takes advantage of the wording on that cut apart. And again, you could put a small square photo on that cut apart. And you could put small photos on those small little tags. And then that brings us to the inside back cover. And we are just chicken in there. And then there is the back cover. So cute and fun. And I enjoyed making this. I hope you like it. Now, don't forget, there is in my coffee shop the uh, the directions, and the directions are not only how to make the mini album, but also how to decorate it. It's how to decorate the one that I showed in a previous video. It's not actually how to decorate this one, but uh, the guides are basically the same. The process is basically the same. So that is what I wanted to show you today. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly enjoyed making it. So thanks so much for watching. And as always, have a fabulous day.